Radioimmunoassay, RIA, is a highly sensitive laboratory technique used to measure the concentration of specific antigens, usually proteins or hormones, in biological samples. Radioimmunoassay combines principles of immunology and radioisotope labeling to achieve its high sensitivity. Here's how it works. Antibody-antigen interaction. RIA relies on the specificity of antibodies for their target antigens. A known antibody, specific to the antigen of interest, is labeled with a radioactive isotope. For example, if you want to measure the concentration of a particular hormone, you would use an antibody that binds specifically to that hormone. Radioactive labeling. The labeled antibody is typically labeled with a radioactive isotope, such as iodine-125, carat-125I, or tritium, carat-3H. The radioactive label allows for the detection of antibody-antigen binding with high sensitivity. Sample preparation. The biological sample, for example, blood serum, urine, or tissue extract, containing the antigen is extracted and prepared. The sample may need to be purified or processed to make it suitable for the assay. Incubation. The prepared sample is mixed with the labeled antibody. If the antigen is present in the sample, it will compete with the labeled antibody for binding to the available binding sites on the antibody. Separation. After incubation, the mixture is separated into bound and unbound fractions. This is typically done using a solid phase support, such as a bead or a tube coated with the antigen or a related molecule. The bound fraction contains the antibody that has bound to the antigen, while the unbound fraction contains the free, unbound, labeled antibody. Counting radioactivity. The radioactivity of both the bound and unbound fractions is measured. This is usually done with a gamma counter for 125I labeled antibodies or a liquid scintillation counter for 3H labeled antibodies. Calculating concentration. By comparing the radioactivity of the bound fraction to the total radioactivity, bound plus unbound, you can calculate the concentration of the antigen in the sample. The more antigen present in the sample, the less labeled antibody binds to the solid phase, resulting in a lower count in the bound fraction. Radioimmunoassay is known for its high sensitivity and specificity, making it a valuable tool in clinical laboratories for measuring a wide range of substances, including hormones, drugs, and specific proteins. However, due to the use of radioactive isotopes, safety precautions are necessary, and alternatives like enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, ELISA, have become more common in recent years.